Hey guys, welcome to the Effortless Spanish mini course. My name is Phoenix. I'm here with Lisa.
Hi.
So this is the first class of your little mini course. This is going to be the perfect introduction for you to learn Spanish because not only are you going to learn your first 500 words, you're also going to get an introduction to all the wonderful memory techniques and all the things that we use in pattern recognition to be able to learn Spanish faster. So let's not waste any time and let's get started. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so first things first. One of the beautiful things about Spanish is that it is not totally foreign to English. In fact, almost half of your vocabulary from English is actually Spanish. And all that you have to do is slightly change your pronunciación, your pronunciation. So once you figure that out, you're going to really amaze yourself by how much Spanish you already know. So my job is just to help you change your pronunciation slightly and show you something that I call bridges. Bridges is going to be the first lesson today. So what is bridges? What does that mean exactly? So bridges is like a little technique that's going to give you access to hundreds and sometimes even thousands of words by just learning one small rule, one small little thing about Spanish itself. So let me give you an example. All the words in Spanish that end in AL, it is something that you share them with English. Okay, so that is our first bridge. I call it the bridge of Al Capone. Okay, Al Capone, AL. So I'll give you an example. So if you wanted to say normal in Spanish, you would say normal. Okay, so as I show you this bridge, we're going to learn the 5 vowels in Spanish. Okay, so by the end of this class, you're going to learn over 100 new words. Are you ready? Okay, so we're only going to focus on one word. We're going to do it one at a time. So we're just going to focus on the A. Okay, so the way that you say A in Spanish is A, the same way that you say apple. Ah. So say ah out loud.
Ah.
Very good. Now, there's a lot of different ways to pronounce the A in English. In fact, there's 7 different ways to pronounce the A. Not in Spanish. Spanish is very phonetical. That means that all these words, they're mostly pronounced the exact same way. There's no guessing. The A is always going to be ah, okay? So, if the A is ah, how do you think you would say something like normal? Try it.
Normal.
Right, normal. Now, what differences do you notice when you hear my English saying normal and the way that I say normal?
At the end, you emphasize the ah.
Right, we emphasize it more, right? Very good, awesome. So I want you to, as we practice all these words, I want you to emphasize these words at the very end, like normal, okay?
Yep.
Alrighty, so as you're listening, I want you to also participate because by the end of the class, if you don't participate, you're going to witness her learning and you're not really going to learn yourself, okay? So when I ask her to say something, just pause for a moment and try to also participate and say it yourself, okay? So we're going to practice this bridge of words that end with AL. So how do you think if normal is normal, how do you think you would say fatal? And practice, you say it out loud. How do you think you would say fatal? Very good. Try it.
Fatal.
Exactly. Fatal. Exactly. Fatal. How do you think you would say something like canal? Right? CANAL. You try it. Canal. How do you say that in Spanish? Now you try it.
Canal.
Very good. That's it. That's how you pronounce the A in Spanish, okay? We're just going to do the 5 vowels today, okay? Now let us practice the E now. The E. There's many different ways to pronounce the E in English, right? But in Spanish, we only pronounce it one way because Spanish is very phonetical. You just pronounce it like this. E. E. Okay, so I want you to say E out loud.
E.
Very good. It's the same way that you say elephant. How do you think you would say dental? I want you to try it. Go ahead, try. The more you participate, the better it is. How do you think you would say dental? Very good. Now, you try it.
Dental.
Exactly. Dental. Now notice, all of these words end the same way. Just AL. And by you just learning that, you just learned over 200 words, believe it or not. We still have to learn how to pronounce all the other vowels, so let's keep practicing. So how do you think you would say something like mental in Spanish? You say it out loud real quick. Mental. Very good. Mental.
Mental.
Exactly. Mental. Very good. How do you think you would say something like legal? Legal. Go ahead.
Legal.
Right. Now notice, guys, all these words, not only do they sound the same, we write them the same. Can you believe that? All these words are in your Spanish vocabulary. So one of the wonderful techniques that we use, that I love to use with my students, is I teach them these bridges, because if you learn the bridges, you are going to learn thousands of words very, very quickly. Now, as a memory expert, I know that it is in your nature to forget, okay? I teach you something, you're going to forget it automatically. So we need to create images. We need to make this fun, okay? So a wonderful image that we can create to not forget this wonderful bridge of words that end with AL is the mafia guy, Al Capone. Have you heard of Al Capone, right?
Yes.
The mafia guy. So you imagine him shooting with his little gun, like, all the words that finish with AL are shared with Spanish. Al Capone. You see? So those little images are going to help you not forget about these bridges. Okay? So let's keep moving. Let me show you how to pronounce the I in Spanish. Okay? The I. The I, again, in English, there's a million different ways to pronounce the I, right? But in Spanish, it's all the same. And you just say E. E. Okay? That's the way you pronounce the I in Spanish. E. Okay? So kind of like the way you say funny. Okay?
E.
So say E. Very good. And you too, say it out loud. E. Okay? Very good. Fantastic. Okay, so let's practice a couple of words now with the same bridge. Okay? Because there's so many words. Like I said before, by you just learning this bridge, you just learn over 200 Spanish words in no time. Okay? Now, how do you think you would say final? You try it. Go ahead. Final. Very good. Now let's hear it from you. Final.
Final.
Very good. Final. Very good. You want to open your mouth really wide when you're pronouncing that A. Ah. Final. Very, very good. Okay, so let's try another one. How do you think you would say illegal? Illegal. You try it. Say it out loud. The best you can. Good. And if you have to pause the video to give yourself a little moment to think about it, that's okay too. Illegal. How would you say it?
Ilegal.
Very good. Ilegal. Wow, so many words that we're learning so fast with just one bridge. When I teach my students Spanish, I like to start with the bridges, because I know dozens and dozens of bridges that once you learn the bridge, it gives you access to hundreds of words. So you should be able to learn over 3,000 Spanish words in just a couple of hours, okay? By starting with the bridges. There's many different memory techniques, many different brain systems that you can utilize to learn to learn any language really, really fast. But you want to start with what I call the bridges. This is the best way to start. After teaching students all over the world about this system, this is absolutely the number one best way to start, because it gives you so much confidence because you're learning so many words so fast. Okay, so let's continue. So I want to teach you how to pronounce the O in Spanish. So the way that you pronounce the O is just like a short O. So you just say, oh, and that's it. Oh, so, very good. Yeah, that's it. It's so simple. So if the O is pronounced O, right? You cut it short, O. How do you think you would say moral? Think about it carefully and say it out loud. You participate. I need you to participate. Moral. How will you say that? Very good. Now let's hear it from you.
moral,
Very good. Moral. Moral. Very good. How do you think you would say mortal? Like deadly, mortal. Say it out loud. Very good. Now you try it.
mortal,
More R, but we don't care about the R right now. You could, we can cover that later. Mortal.
mortal,
Very good. Mortal. Fantastic. Alrighty, so how do you think you would say local? You try it. Local. Good. Now you try it.
local,
Local. So many words. Look at this. Normal, local. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And this is just one bridge. Imagine what you can do when you learn dozens of bridges, right? Fantastic. So let's keep going. So let's try one more with the O. How do you think you would say total in Spanish? Total. You try it first. Total. Good. Now you try it.
total,
Total. That's it. Total. How easy is this, right?
Easy.
Very simple. Let's keep going. So now I need to teach you one final vowel and we'll end it there for today. So I need to teach you how to pronounce the U. The U. The way that you say you in Spanish is just like this. Ooh. Ooh. Say that out loud.
ooh,
Ooh. Very good. Ooh. That's it. Kind of like the way that you say food. Okay? Ooh. Say food out loud.
food,
Food, right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Very good. Alrighty, so there you have it. Those are the 5 vowels. So today we learned 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, U. You feel free to watch this again. And we also learned one wonderful bridge of the words that end with A-L. And I think we've learned, well, no, I didn't go over all of them, but we did learn over 200 words in what? Just 10 minutes here?
wow,
Amazing, right?
amazing,
So on the next class, I'm going to show you another bridge that is going to give you access to even more words. So there you have it. That's the first class. Jump into the second class. And if you want to learn Spanish from me, feel free to check out the link below on my Effortless Spanish program. I share dozens and dozens and dozens of these bridges that's going to give you the fast track to learning Spanish really, really fast. Also, if you want to check out my new book called Memory Mysteries, it's a wonderful book that's going to give you a lot of techniques for you to store thousands and thousands of words in your brain, right? Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing that I can just share with you dozens and dozens of words and you don't forget them? So you can grab your copy on Amazon, and I'm also going to share the link of the book down below. Okay, so don't forget, jump to the next class and I'll see you and I'll teach you the next bridge.